Today we'll be talking about the final Vocaloid to be released in 2014, as well as what is probably the final Japanese Vocaloid for the V3 engine. But like my previous video, Merle's anniversary episode, this one will be done with a heavy heart. I'll get to why in a moment. When Internet Company made its surprise announcement that it was releasing a V3 update for Gachapon, it also said that it was going to be releasing a brand new Vocaloid in its artist vocal series as well. The singer Chika is a member of the Japanese pop group AAA, which is under the AtH Tracks label. If that name sounds familiar, that's because it shares the parent company AtH Management, which helped publish the Vocaloid Lily. Miss Ito lent her voice and name to this new Vocaloid, Chika, who was developed and published by Internet Co. on October 16, 2014. Chika's name and appearance were revealed when her first demo was released in September, the song Etc. by Pepperon P. Speaking of Etc., when the song debuted it was a little confusing because the video showed two character designs but didn't explain which one was Chika. It turns out they are both Chika, as the left design is her casual outfit while the right design is her performing outfit, which is based on an outfit Miss Ito wore during a concert in 2010. What Chika brings to the table is a highly polished, refined, and professional voice bank. AtH Management and, obviously, Internet Co. are both Vocaloid veterans, so the promise of such a voice bank from these two is enticing. Chika was designed to be an all-around good voice bank that wasn't designed for specific genres. It has a broad recommended tempo range and a good vocal range. She is said to be easy to use with quick consonant pronunciation. But the one thing that sets Chika apart is the complexity of her voice bank. Explaining why would involve a lot of technical information, but the key point is that Chika's voice bank contains more triphones than any other Japanese Vocaloid voice bank to date. A triphone is a sequence of three phonemes, and Internet Co.'s president, Mr. Murakami Noboru, says that Chika has 200 more triphone recordings than their other V3 Vocaloids, which is apparently double the number for a typical Japanese V3 voice bank. What that means is that Chika's voice bank has the capacity to sound smoother and more natural than previous voice banks. To get an idea of the importance of triphones, consider the difference in smoothness between Vocaloid 2 voice banks and Vocaloid 3 voice banks. Vocaloid 2 did not have the ability to use triphones, so it was limited to monophones and diphones. For users of AtH, voice banks that only used up to diphone recordings are referred to as CV, or consonant vowel voice banks, and they mimic the capability the Vocaloid 2 engine had. Before the V3 engine allowed for triphone usage in the Vocaloid franchise, the AtH software was updated to take advantage of triphones to allow the creation of what are known as VCV, or vowel-consonant-vowel voice banks, that are much smoother and more natural sounding than CV voice banks. The main difference between the two has to do with the way the software will detect when a compatible string of three phonemes is being used and utilizing a matching recording from the voice bank, such that a word such as aka, which is made up of three phonemes, will be able to blend the first phoneme, a vowel, with the subsequent consonant-vowel diphone. In other words, triphones allow the AtH and Vocaloid softwares to pronounce a word like aka as aka instead of a plus ka. Of course, the challenge with triphones is it requires recording many more samples as there are so many possible combinations of phonemes. You have to draw the line somewhere, as the voice bank becomes smoother as the number of recordings increases, but so does the development burden. Yet, despite Chika's pedigree and the advancements put into her voice bank, very few people are making use of her for things other than plug-and-play covers. That's why this video is pretty late. It seems she has been completely overlooked, and I think I know why. That Etc. demo by Pepperon P? It's the only demo that Chika has. Back in September, when asked about future demos, Noboru said that there wouldn't be any more. What? Chika's only going to have one demo? Why? She did kind of get a second demo, sort of, after her release, a music video where she sings along with her voice provider, But apart from that and a short, low-profile song contest, Chika hasn't gotten much publicity or marketing at all. It's like Utatani Pico all over again, but Chika's coming from two experienced companies, so it really makes no sense. A possibility is that Internet Co. realized that Chika would come out right before the Vocaloid 4 engine, and so would assume that she would not sell well due to that. But Chika came out over a month before Vocaloid 4 was announced. So for that to be true, Internet Co. would have had to have known about V4's imminent release, and they could have moved her to the new engine if they wanted to. As a single voice bank library, the only new necessary recordings Chika would require to be a V4 voice bank that we are currently aware of are the growl samples, because she already has extra triphone samples. So either Internet Co. knew about V4 coming up and decided not to delay and update Chika, or it didn't know until it was too late and it just abandoned her, either scenario being very disappointing. It's all just very strange, like how Chika is available as a boxed version on the main Vocaloid store, but she isn't available in the download version section, even though she has a download version available direct from Internet Co. So why isn't that in the Vocaloid store? And while there's no doubt that the announcement of the V4 updates definitely didn't help Chika's chances after November 20th, she had a full month prior to that where she could have sold well if she had been marketed properly. At only around $70 as a digital download, Chika definitely has some potential, but we may never know just how much. Internet Co. still has the chance to turn things around for Chika, like if it decides to give her a V4 update and properly advertise it, so let's keep an eye on her for just a little longer.
な言葉で飾って夢を見せるのが好きだね。2番街の女は今日も裏切り者と泣きわめいている。夜の帳が落ちる頃、この2番街はあんた色。世界のすべてが自分のものだみたいな顔してるね。腕の中、あたしがあんたのこと好きでも気づかないね。バカな人。